for County Executive, Sandy Frankel.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to be here and to have an opportunity to talk with all of you about the county executive's race and why change is so needed. I bring to this race integrity, leadership, and vision. We need accountability. We need accessibility. We need open government. And that's not something that the citizens of this county have had over the past 7 years. As supervisor of the town of Brighton for 20 years, I've had the great opportunity to serve as CEO of one of the larger towns in Monroe County. And when first elected, I addressed a major financial problem that I inherited. We turned that problem around, and today Brighton is in great shape. I'm happy and proud to say. I want to bring that kind of financial responsibility to county government. We've seen a lot of financial mismanagement, political game playing, and a message that comes to the community of flat taxes, when in fact taxes have gone up 7 times in 7 years. And the average increase has been higher than the average rate of inflation. Contrast that with the town of Brighton, where over the past 18 years or so, since 1994 in fact, we have kept the average annual tax at or below the average annual rate of inflation with 5 tax cuts. And we have had a government that is essentially without scandal, because I believe that integrity is critical to ensuring trust and confidence in the voters and to helping economic development. So we need to have an Office of Integrity in county government that will ensure independent investigation of scandals of corruption, which have become fairly common as a result of a lack of oversight, poor management, and responsibility from my perspective. We need integrity restored to county government, and that can only come with change. Jobs, we all know that it's really important that we grow the economy and that we create new jobs. The Brooks administration has had a negative attitude about the county's future. The sales tax intercept plan, in fact, foresaw that the county was not going to grow economically because County Executive Brooks basically gave away our growth in sales tax in the future to the state. The only county in New York State to do that. And so we need to turn things around in Monroe County. We need to restore financial management, strength, and sustainability. Right now, the county's credit rating is the second worst in all of New York State among its counties. The town of Brighton earned a Moody's credit rating upgrade to AA3, a high-level credit rating upgrade after we restored financial integrity and stability. So I want to bring those kinds of skills, the leadership that Monroe County needs to move forward, to improve the quality of life for everyone, so that the jobs are there, so that families can not only survive, but thrive. And I'm excited about the opportunity to take my commitment to public service to the broader community. Before I served as supervisor of the town of Brighton, I served in public education for over 20 years as a member of the Monroe 1 BOCES Board of Education and Vice President, as a member of the Brighton Board of Education and Vice President, President of the Monroe County School Boards Association. I care deeply about the children, all of the children of this community, and want them to have the best education possible so that we can, in fact, have a well-trained, well-educated workforce going forward. And that's going to be very important to recruiting and retaining jobs here in this community. Personally, I'm married. My husband and I have been married for 46 years. We have 3 children and 7 grandchildren and an 8th on the way. And that 8th is due November 3rd. So that will be an election season gift. I really care about Monroe County. I care about the people of this county. And we need to turn this county government back to the people of this county. No more pay to play. No more appointments based on political favors, but rather based on competence. In the town of Brighton, I have appointed people regardless of their political party persuasion. I've appointed them because they were the right person, they were the best qualified person who shared the vision for a better Brighton. And because of that, we've been able to make Brighton one of the best places to live, work, and raise a family. And in my heart, I believe that that is doable for the entire county. In the town of Greece, I've worked collaboratively in partnership. For example, we did an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Greece in purchasing police vehicles. We work cooperatively in many other ways throughout the years, and I want to represent the people of Greece just as vigorously as I have represented the people of Brighton during my time as supervisor. I know Monroe County can be great once again. We've got great resources, the most important of which are our people who are talented, skilled. We've got a great workforce. We've got water. We've got a beautiful area to which we can attract business, tourism, and ensure that this area is once again the most vibrant county in New York State. So with that, I ask for your vote in November and welcome any questions that anybody may have. Thank you very much.
Jan Chapone, and I'm with the First Ward in Greece. Is there going to be you're going to go after Mrs. Brooks in a vocalizing way?
What I have already done and will continue to do is to talk about the issues. There have been many instances of corruption. We know about the Water Authority, the airport, the Monroe Community Sports Center. There are questions about Navitech, where the New York State Attorney General and Comptroller are both currently investigating. There was Rogatron, where people were convicted of crimes misusing county time, county materials to do work on the private properties of political friends. And there were some convictions. There are a litany of problems that the county has had during the Brooks administration. And it seems to me that speaks to an issue of lack of oversight, lack of leadership, and mismanagement. Those are the kinds of things that I'm talking about, and they really point to the important need for change in order to turn the county around. But beyond that, there's such a major financial mess that our county is dealing with right now. And it's not all because of mandates coming from Albany or Washington. It's because of how the finances have been managed right here at home. That has to change. So yes, I am going to be talking about County Executive Brooks and the Brooks administration, but I'm focusing on the issues. This isn't going to be a negative campaign about an individual, but it is going to be dealing with the facts as they are, and that's appropriate so that voters are informed.
Well, I agree with everything you said. but still in all, it has to go out to the general public. We in here understand what you're saying, hopefully. And, but it needs to be, I think, a focal point out to the public.
And it will be. It is happening now. The media is covering stories on these issues, and there'll be more to come during the fall.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Sandra. My name is Rebecca Jafari, and I read the interview that you did in the Democrat Chronicle a couple weeks ago, where you touched on the fact that if you became Monroe County executive, you wanted to get more involved with the city school district. Can you elaborate a little bit on what you meant by that comment?
I'm happy to do that. As I mentioned, I've had a long and deep experience and involvement with public schools. As a school board member in Brighton and on those in Monroe, as leader of the Monroe County School Board Association, I have an understanding of what it takes to have good school outcomes, and I want to bring that knowledge to bear in talking with and in working with and in helping as I can personally with the leadership of the city school district, with the unions, with the city of Rochester. The county itself doesn't have a direct involvement from a financial perspective, nor should it. Its role is tangential. So there are some issues that I think are important that the county does have responsibility for that I want to make sure continue. For example, funding for inspections of lead contamination, because we've had a great result with a decline in lead poisoning of children, but there was an uptick that we've just experienced. And I know how important it is that kids in those zip codes where there is the highest concentration of lead continue to have the inspections and ensure that the landlords make those places safe, because without it, we end up with children who have brain damage, who have permanent learning disabilities and behavior disorders. The cost of doing those inspections is very cheap compared to the cost in future years, not only for the education of children who are so affected, but also how they will function as adults and whether they have a life that doesn't allow them to be as productive as they might, or if they get into trouble and end up in jail. Those costs are far greater than the smaller costs up front. So we need to focus on making sure that that work gets done in the interest of public health. It is happening now. It needs to continue to happen. And there have been some questions about how that funding stream may flow in the future. Another is that the county has a responsibility for preschool daycare for income-eligible children, families. And in that case, where funding has been cut back, we know that kids are less ready for school, they're less ready to succeed in school. We know that Head Start is an incredibly effective program that makes a really positive difference in the school success of children. And so if we can give those kids a Head Start, which they would not otherwise have, then they're going to be better prepared to learn. The educational outcomes in the district, hopefully, will be better. And at the end of the day, they'll be well-educated, well-skilled to be able to do the jobs that we want to create here and be the workers that those businesses will want to come and hire. So those are a couple of examples of how the county interfaces with the schools and can make a positive difference, but not, the county doesn't have a role and shouldn't have a role in actually providing funding for public education in a general way. I hope that answers your question. Well, thank you very much.
I understand that certain parts of Greece are struggling economically. Certain neighborhoods, people are out of jobs. This is a really tough time. During the Brooks administration's tenure over the past 7 years, real jobs have declined in Monroe County. My aim is to not only restore jobs, but to grow jobs. And to do that, we have to restore financial integrity, good management, open government, and we have to be out there promoting Monroe County outside of the county. We have to be promoting it nationwide and in fact in other countries to let people know what great resources, what great people we have here, and to build this economy back to strength once again. And my commitment to you is to create more jobs and to have a stronger economy so that all of our families, all of our people in Monroe County have the opportunity to have good living wage jobs. Thank you.